So we're looking at Excel 5.4 practice. This is what our finished product should look like. So let's get started. So I've renamed this PR Canyon Trails. And I'm looking at step 2. It says in column J. So here's column J. We want to calculate the total cost and then copy that formula all the way down. So we want to do the number of guests times the per person cost. And then I'm going to drag that all the way down the column. And we want to format I and J with currency, no decimals. So $, no decimals. And we want to center all the headings in row 3. It says click cell A3 and select the range A3 through J53. And we want to insert a table with headers. So we want to make sure that button's checked with headers. Okay, so you'll notice the format changes. It gets the color, it does alternating colors, and now we have these sort buttons where we can sort and filter. So we need to adjust the column width so everything's visible. So I'm going to select A through J columns, double click, make sure everything's visible. And now I'm going to rename sheet number 1 as current tours. It also tells me to alphabet this sheet, alphabetize by last name. So here's last name. Drop down, and we're sorting from A to Z. We're going to right click on the current tours sheet tab and create a copy. So right click, we're going to say move or copy. We are going to create a copy, and then we're going to rename it Tours by Canyon. So it says place the Tours by Canyon sheet to the right, so I'm going to click and drag to the end. And now we're supposed to sort this sheet by Tour Canyon. So Tour Canyon, A to Z. Then home country, A to Z. Then finally last name, A to Z. So it's going by last name. But then it's separating out, you'll see all the W's who are in the United States and so forth. So number 9, it says make another copy of this, so of the current tours. So we're making another copy. We're renaming it US Guests. And we're going to place it to the right again. This time we're going to sort and filter the home country, and we're just going to select United States. So you'll see the numbers change to blue. The numbers are missing some. They're kind of they're not out of order, but they're missing some. So it hid all of the ones that are not from the United States. And let's see, we're going to sort it by state. So A to Z by state. Now we're going to add a total row that sums these. So in table design, I'm going to click total row. And you'll see that we have this one, the total cost done, but we also want the total guests. So we want the sum of the guests and the sum of the total cost. So let's just make sure that's sum. Yep. There we go. So we're going to make another copy of the current tours. And this time we're going to rename it European Guests. And we're going to drag this to the right of the US guests. We're going to hide the average age. So I'm going to right click on D and say hide. Okay, so it kind of shifts everything to the left. You'll notice at the top it goes from C to E. Then it says select a cell in the table, and we're going to do an insert slicer for the home country. So let's go to insert and find slicer. and then we're going to click Home Country. And it says to move this to K3 and change the width to 1.65. And we want to select both Germany and the UK. So now it says sort the filtered sheet from home country. Oops. There we go. Home country, A to Z, and then last name, A to Z. Then it says make one more copy of the current tours. So current tours, make one more copy. And we're going to rename this tours by state. Again, we're taking this placed into the right of the European guest, so at the end. And we're going to sort this by tour state, so A to Z. It says right-click the table. Right-click on the table. It says select the table, and then convert to arrange. Right-click on the table, go to table, and then say convert to range. It asks me a question. We're going to say yes. And then from the data tab in the ribbon, so here's the data tab, we're going to go to subtotal. So we're going to do the subtotal. And we want to do by tour state. And then add a subtotal to total cost. So you can see Utah total, Colorado total, all of that. And then we're going to change the name of the tours by state to, it says 5 to 7 day tours. And so that means we're going to filter out anything that's not those. So let's filter out the 3s. Okay. Now on each worksheet, make the following print changes. So I'm going to say select all of them and go to page layout, scale to fit. So I'm going to add a footer. So let's go to header, footer, custom footer. In the center, we're going to do the worksheet name. There we go, insert sheet name. And then we're going to change this, so I'm going to say OK, change that to landscape. And then do the scale to fit so that it's one page. Let's see how that looks. And yep, we have our name right there. So now it also said to do, for any worksheets that print on more than one page, add print titles. So here's the print titles. And we want to do the first 3 rows at the top of each page. Okay, so print titles, we'll say repeat the first 3 rows. And let's do that for the other ones. So print titles, rows to repeat, 3. This one should be one page, one page. Oh, this one's going to be more than one page. So let's reprint those 3. And make sure your sheets are in the following order. So let's check our order. Current tours, tours by Canyon, US guests, European guests, 5 to 7 day tour by state. And there we go.